Get the club to pop when I come up with the drop. Gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with everybody. We do it. Everybody. We do it.
Rub the spot, hit the club, hit the club. Woo! What is good? I am pretty lit, pretty stoned. What's up, everybody? What's happening? It's Thursday. Holy shit, it's Thursday. I'm so fucking stoked it's Thursday, man. Woo! I feel like it's my first episode. I'm just excited, man. How's everybody doing, man? Shout out to everyone who's early up in the comments, my day oneers. How you guys doing? Let's see. Who was number one in the comments today? Oh, fuck, dude. God damn it. Shane Kelly, Small Town Exotics. Fuck, man. I can't help but to like this guy. I love Shane, man. What up, Shane? Cornet Constrictors. What up, Cornet, my homie? Bronx Ball Pythons, Black Sun, Reptiles, homies, man. Homies on homies. What's good, everybody, man? Welcome to today's episode, man. I'm pretty stoked. Got some new blood. Some new topics that we're going to be talking about tonight, so I'm super stoked. And then before we get started, make sure you guys do what's important, right? And make sure you guys go to www.coldbloodedcafe.com for all the freshest and bestest rodents. My bad, fucking Black Sun's blocking the damn website, but www.coldbloodedcafe.com, man. Make sure if you guys want the bombest, freshest rodents to your doorstep, frozen thawed, man, hit up Cold Blooded Cafe. You cannot go wrong with that, man. They're the best. I'm telling you, they're the best. And then shout out to Sim Containers, man. Don't forget Sim Containers. If you guys have reptile eggs, personally, I highly suggest you put them in a Sim box. I'm telling you right now, man. Sims, they got those things designed. They got it well dialed in. And second year using them. Can't go wrong. And then shout out to the local sponsor, Creative Creature Brewery, right here, local in San Diego. If you guys want that bomb-ass craft beer, the IPAs, the hoppy stuff, and then the sours and all the other crazy shit that you can drink, man, they have it, man. They'll bring it to your doorstep, not personally, but they'll get it shipped. They have ways of doing that. And if you're in San Diego, make sure you go check out their spot, man. They're right here in El Cajon. So then tell them MJ sent you. I'll probably meet up with you for a brew or something, because it's right down the street from me. So, but yeah, guys, man, first and foremost, just want to thank everybody who's been hitting me up, man, giving me a lot of motivation, a lot of good feedback, man. Honestly, man, you guys, it's probably about like every day I get at least 2 or 3 of you telling me that I'm doing a great job with this podcast. And I don't always respond the same to everybody. I might just heart you guys, but it's because either I'm just fucking, there's a lot going on with me or whatever the fuck. But personally, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I'm watching all you guys. You guys are doing fucking sick things out there. People are hatching some sick things. And it's awesome, man. Everyone's supporting each other, and that's what we're here for, man. So cheers to you guys. Woo! Damn, that's good. Stickers, man. I got some stickers I want to go ahead and share real quick, man. You guys shot me some stickers, and haven't been doing it in the beginning of the podcast lately, so I want to make sure I do this before I continue. But Premier Serpents, shout out to the homie Premier Serpents, sent me these hologram type stickers. I have a feeling I might have shot these out already, and if I did, fuck it, two in a row. Good for you. But Premier Serpents stickers, I appreciate that. And then the homie right here, Cornet, I'm telling you, this guy right here, you got to follow this dude, man. This dude's passionate. His heart's in the right place. And he's one of the loyal ones, man. And he's just a good person to talk to. Very positive, man. And it's Cornet Constrictor. Shout out to the homie. This is a 6 sticker. But what the fuck? Why? Okay, let me ask you a question. Why is the rat handling the snake like that? Shouldn't it be the other way around or something? Like, that snake is getting fucked up by the rat. I could see that. I mean, dope design, don't get me wrong, but let's flip that around or something, man. Let's make sure this rat is the one on the floor and then the snake's on top of it or something. But bro, whoever designed this cartoonish type stuff, this is sick. I like this. I just don't like the rat winning right now, but that's another thing, man. So sick. Keep sending me your shit, guys, please. If you guys want me to shout you out on the podcast, you know, if you guys got stickers, shirts, whatever, man, hit me up. Be more than happy to put you guys out there, man. For real. Let's all do this. But we're going to move forward with tonight's guest, special guest, maybe another special guest. We'll fucking see. I don't know. I sent the links out. Let's see if they come and visit. But tonight's guest, let me just say, a guy I've met at, let's see. I've known Riley for a couple years now, but I'm just trying to remember. I met him at a show. Loved his energy. The guy's fucking, and then when you follow his page, he's all over the charts with the shit that he keeps. Insects and shit, spiders, oh man, even gnarly stuff. And we're going to talk more with Riley about it, but definitely somebody you want to have as a friend in this fucking hobby because he knows everybody. He's cool with everybody. And he's the man. He's Riley Jimison. What up, Riley?
What's going on, man?
Man, welcome to the Trap Sessions. I am very excited that you're here. It's a complete honor. How are you living? How are you sleeping?
With a lot of fans on and the windows open, man.
Yeah.
It's hot here, dude. It's hot.
Before we went live, he was telling me it's 102 degrees. Is that right?
Yeah, dude.
Dog, you're not in Texas, bro. Like, what the 102 degrees in Sacramento? I just didn't know.
We had
Go ahead.
105 days already this year. Like, we had them a couple months ago.
I just didn't know they got that hot. I didn't know things got that hot up there in Sacramento. I even have homies up there, so it's crazy that I didn't know that. But
yeah, we're in this little valley.
I'm glad you got the fans going. I'm glad you at least, because obviously you got to have something like that for your damn snakes. There's obviously some sort of a game plan that you have, which is probably very important to talk about, because how many people lose collections from overheating, right? Or it's terrible.
We've definitely heard of that for sure.
Yeah, man. Damn, it sucks. It really does. I was gonna wait to say this after the podcast, but I feel for this guy. I don't know if you guys know JT Thomason, right? He's just one of those guys, man, to where, I don't personally know him, but listen, just by following people sometimes and seeing what their true beliefs are and what they do, I could see they're good people. And I know a lot of people had shit happen to them and whatnot 2020, but this right here just sucked. And I felt really bad for him. And if you guys could please head over to Facebook, they have an auction, not an auction, but there's something to support to help him out, get him back on his feet. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a whole, I think it's a page or a group there. I think they're doing that in lieu.
See, hold on, let me see. I'm going to get, either way, we'll get the link. I'm going to get the link to that page. I'll put it in the description below. Make sure you guys do what you can to go support the homie out, man. He's a fucking dude, solid dude, man. Everyone who's friends with this guy, all say he's legit, it's fucking solid, and it's facts, man. So, go check it out. Please help homie JT and his buddy Austin, please. It would really mean a lot to everybody if you guys could do what you can and go help them out, man. But yeah, man, fuck, dude, overheating, and then people, there's a lot of temps are so crucial, right? Like, fuck, man, I waited to even say this to anyone publicly because, I've been keeping posted on the chondro eggs and whatnot. And I had 6 that I thought were going to go good. And then I only ended up hatching one sole survivor. And I know for a fact what it came down to, and it was fucking temps. I fucked up the temps. And it was something so, even with chondro eggs that are so delicate, the thing with chondro eggs, I feel like they're not hard to hatch if things are perfect and you don't mess with them. Like, just leave them alone, right? And I had to learn a fucking lesson, man. I had to, listen, one's better than none, right? But temps are just so damn crucial to these animals, right?
Yeah.
what do you do for your temps, Riley? I mean, your room gets really hot, right? We're just obviously talking about that. This isn't your first year having to deal with heat, right?
No.
So
No.
I'm sure you have something that you refined and dialed down, and you're pretty much ready for these hot days now, right?
Yeah, and I know my animals and what they can take and what they've been. So, you know, everything that coexists in this room can deal with some of the extremes, and I monitor them on a daily basis. I will say that I do have some room for improvement. I could go a step further and get an air conditioning unit and thermostatically control that. So that would really keep those highs down. But right now, I can kind of gauge what the weather is going to tell me, and I can open a window. I can set up a fan for some good cross ventilation.
Right.
And I kind of know what the thresholds for the max of the room are. Granted, they're much higher than I would like. Like right now, this thermometer is telling me it's 89 in here. I don't know. I'm not sweating, so I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, but all the thermostats are running at like 0%, and they're all set like, you know, lower than what it is. So I think it's just pretty warm in here. But yeah, and then on cold days, I've got a heater controlled by like an Inkbird thermostat. I got it on Amazon. It's basically a little plug-in digital thermostat for a heater that connects to an app in your phone, and you can set the thresholds for highs and lows, and it'll kick on for you, so you can keep the room as warm as you need it to. So that's crucial for the winter. So I need to take it a step further and get that control for the summer.
Nice. And then let's talk about how many summers deep are you in now, Riley? I mean, I think we talked about this. I had Riley on the Unfiltered Reptiles podcast and fucking made it with the homie, man. I remember it was just supposed to be me and you. It was last minute. I was like, fuck, what are we gonna do now? And like I was like, well, I got mad at Forrest because he wanted to back out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find somebody. And then fucking Riley was down. Check out that episode.
That was episode 2.
That was it, Drew. That was good, man. And then of course we get Riley. I get Riley on. Then who joins? There's fucking Forrest. Forrest just couldn't. No matter what was on his plate, no matter how fucked up things were on his end, if there were, he still had to make the podcast. Like he just couldn't miss it. You know. So bless his heart, man. Fucking R.I.P. Forrest Manning. Which is what brought me and Riley even closer together. I mean, me and Riley knew each other, but like that's where Riley really found our connection. Was through Forrest, along with a lot of other people, and I'm sure you are really connected to other people besides me because of Forrest. I mean, Forrest just did that for a lot of people. He brought people together to like each other, basically, because that's just what it came down to. And me personally, and I haven't heard this from anyone else, Forrest never talked shit about anybody, dude. He really didn't. He kind of just, you know what I mean? He just really fucking wanted everybody to win. For sure he did. I knew that. So, but yeah, man. So, Riley, I had you on the other episode on Unfiltered, and we talked about you're tenured in this hobby, how long you've been doing it for. You know, we talked about how you went to school for a little bit. You went to school, right? And then after school's when, boom, everything picked back up, right? So when did you graduate college?
2010? 11.
And so we're looking at just shy under 10 years of seasons of you keeping snakes, right?
Yeah. So I've been keeping reptiles since I was a little kid, but as far as like what's behind me and what's in this room and breeding and the hobby side of things, it started pretty much right out of college.
And then and you've always been in Sacramento. Where were you before Sacramento? Where were you?
Santa Barbara. So I was in Santa Barbara from like the second half of 2011 all the way up to I was in Santa Barbara for college. So I moved to Santa Barbara in 2007, and then I moved back up here to Sacramento February of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been in Sac for 2 years now, running things here in this climate for 2 years, and then prior in Santa Barbara. Okay.
How do you like Sacramento compared to Santa Barbara? I mean, Santa Barbara is more of a party city, right?
Yeah, it's more expensive to live in Santa Barbara and much more limited, but you do have the beach there. You have the mountains. You're 2 hours from LA. So, I was able to really dig myself into the the Southern California reptile scene and hit like every Pomona, all the Orange County shows, like just go to everything. So it's different in that because up here we only have the SAC show and it only happens like once or twice a year.
Right.
And but the nice thing is we have seasons here. So as far as like running the room and breeding, I can actually cool animals down here. Whereas in Santa Barbara, you know, I was lucky if I could get the room into the low 70s by New Year's. So
Right. That's true. Yeah, because it's the fucking beach. It doesn't really have seasons. It's
dude, yeah, I went to the beach on Christmas just so I could take photos of my feet in the sand and tease my friends.
that's the shit you can get here in California, man. That's sure, man. I mean, you know, that's why I love San Diego so bad because, like, you know, there's so many cities within San Diego that you could be literally on the beach, you could be fucking in the mountains where there's snow,
Yeah,
or you could be at a lake. Like, I mean, there's just a lot of different options you can do.
Yep.
Me personally, I like to be away from all the tourists. I want to be away from people, but I'm not far from that if I want to go there. So that's, you know, I get what you're saying, bro. So for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your season, man. So, I mean, how many clutches did you end up? I mean, you have different species going, right? Or you what's kind of up right now?
So I gave a few females the year off, so I was only ultimately going for a couple carpet python clutches, but they were young females coming up to their season. So I only ended up with one clutch of carpets this year from an Axanthic coastal, and that's it for the carpets. The hognose, the giant Madagascar hognose, have been breeding for the last few months, and that's finally slowing down. So I'm actually kind of on egg watch with them.
Damn.
And so we'll see if I get lucky again.
You got 3 last year?
Yeah, so I got 3 fertile eggs, 2 slugs, all 3 babies fully developed and hatched. One of them died in the egg despite being the first one to pip, just died in the egg, fully developed. The second one tried leaving too early, hadn't absorbed his yolk, so I had to tie that off, and he ended up being a third of the size of the other one, and he just ultimately didn't make it. And then the third one is the female who I have over here living in a 32 quart, living large, like doing really well.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that I'll get some more eggs this year and maybe a better clutch because I've been catching video footage of the male breeding the larger female and the other female who's put more size on. So we'll see if I get anything, but you know, I'll take what I can get.
Right.
So, and then I've got a gravid Brazilian rainbow boa right next to me. I think she's on like day 105.
Yeah, I see. She looks plumpy.
Yeah, she's huge, dude. Like, and she's thinner than when I got her. Like, I put her on a diet because she was an absolute monster when I got her. And breeding has helped take some of that excess fat off of her in a good, healthy way. But I've just never put it back on that way. So she's due in less than 2 weeks. So we'll see.
And then is that it? The carpets?
Yeah, that'll.
Madagascar's. Damn, Steven was here. He would have made fun of me right now. Do you ever say? Well, no, you probably don't say anything wrong, even though you told me you study words and shit sometimes. But have you ever slipped up words in front of Steven and have him just make fun of you?
Oh, dude, I'm sure I've slipped up plenty of times in front of him. I just don't know if I've stopped long enough to give him the moment to make fun of me at all. I just keep going when I slip up.
No,
it's like when you trip when you're walking. Like if you stub your toe on the sidewalk, never look back because you know somebody saw it and is gonna be like, ah!
Yeah, for real. And what's looking back gonna do? Your toe still hurts.
Yeah, it's obvious what happened. You tripped.
You tripped.
Move along.
Work life, man. Let the people know what you do day to day, man. What's your other than what you know your work is at home, even though it's not work, you know, still putting shit in. But what's your day to day, man? Let's talk about what you do for a living.
Yeah, so my 9 to 5 is as a zookeeper. So I got into zoos in Santa Barbara towards the end of my college time, started volunteering. And after a year and a half of excelling at the volunteer program in all of my free time, a position opened up in 2012 as an apprentice reptile keeper. And long story short, worked there for 6 years, doing everything from alligators to tarantulas to poison dart frogs to rattlesnakes to turtles, like everything. Fish, endangered species of fish and breeding fish, running, water quality systems and big sand filters and big aquariums and
Damn.
taking care of piranha. Piranha were sweet. Yeah.
That's just that right there is like, I love fish and all, but like that's one thing I would just be geeked out over is a fucking piranha.
Well, what's funny is they're so timid. Like I've been arm's length deep in that piranha tank with my face in water, like cleaning around 8 piranha swimming around in this 500-600 gallon tank. And they're in the literally furthest point in that tank away from me as possible, because to them, I'm just some big, massive like animal that just invaded their space. Right. So they're timid. But as soon as you chop up some fish and drop that in, or drop some earthworms in or something, it's just like this frenzy. They'll like crest out of the water, damn near jump out if you're not careful. They go ape. It's amazing watching piranha feed. They're like, we used to schedule it at the zoo and put it on the map so people knew that we were going to do the piranha feeding at a certain time of day, so that they would show up. Oh, dude, we'd have the whole hallway crowded full. I'd have to like yell just to tell people it was the best.
Dude, so what was like a typical piranha's diet? Like what was their diet? Like what did you feed them?
We fed them 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the season, usually more in the warmer months. And we would feed them anything from chopped up various species of fish, from like capelin to herring to we'd give them like big old earthworms, things like that. One year on Thanksgiving, I strung up some raw turkey and dropped that in the tank, and they like macked on some raw turkey for Thanksgiving. They'll eat just about anything. So
I seen a fucked up YouTube video of somebody throwing a frog in one, and like it was like little by little, just pieces of the frog left, but like the frog was still alive. And I was like, dude, what a way to just fucking kill the thing, dude. That poor little frog, like
they're brutal, man. They eat each other.
It's
the other thing. If you're going to be a piranha keeper, the one reality that you're going to have to accept is at some point your fish are going to eat one another. And eventually it always happens. It does not matter. Like, even if you keep the tank a little bit cooler to keep their energy levels lower and their stress lower, eventually you're going to wake up one day and one of your homies is going to be floating on corn cob on the top of the water, just going, just like toast. Bro, it happens.
It's like keeping mangroves or like two snakes that are prone to eat each other just cohabiting. Like, what the fuck you think is gonna happen? You know what I mean? So, but it's kind of in the wild they cohab. You know what I mean? So
that's what they do, and occasional cannibalism is also what they do. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? It's life.
You just do the best by them while you can, and try and prevent it as best you can, and give them a happy enclosure and lots of food so they don't feel the need. But in my opinion, the piranhas would pick on the oldest, weakest, and they would test them. Like I would always talk with my curator. We'd notice one of the older guys who he had an eye bit off. So he's already missing an eye, but he was the biggest piranha in the tank. Damn. And every once in a while, the younger new guys that we had brought in would try and punk this old dude and mess with him, and they'd take a bite out of his fin or something, and we'd notice it. And so we'd put him on watch just so we could keep a close eye on him and make sure nothing happens. And usually within the next week or so, you'd find a couple of the other guys with a chunk taken out of him, and this dude's swimming proud like he's the king of the tank. So damn. He was a boss. He definitely ran the show, and anytime somebody slipped up, he made it happen. So they would pick on one another. So, but they're awesome fish.
Damn! Shout out to Ian Bessel real quick. He sent me a text. He's been keeping me updated on his most recent.
Yeah.
Eggs those are, man. So
that's from that blue female, huh?
The blue female. So this is Ian Bessel's clutch. Shout out to Ian Bessel. Give him a follow. But I mean, I don't even know how many eggs there are. I'm pretty stoned. I'm not going to count them, but there's a lot of eggs right there. I may need to get may need to get a piece of that. So shout out to Ian Bessel, bro. Go follow Ian, S&J Reptiles.
Yeah.
He's the man. He's cool. He's funny. Yeah, man. But that's awesome, man. Fucking you and I were talking about the Morelias, man. The Morelia. Yeah. Shout out to the Southwest Carpet Fest. Did not happen.
Yeah.
But we're gonna make it happen.
We'll get redemption.
Yeah, bro. Listen, the shirt was sick as fuck. Shout out to Brian Cusco, who threw the 805 on there, right?
That puff paint on there,
yeah. So fucking Brian is pretty legendary. Now I want to talk about the guy who designed this shirt. Just as legendary, if not more legendary. You may know him. He's a good buddy of mine too. We recently went on a herping trip. Anyone needs to go check out for sure, because this guy is, I don't know, man. This guy's fucking sick as shit. Yeah, he's not too big on the Instagram. I feel like he's gonna get there for sure, but I mean, he's more of a fucking heavy Facebook hitter from what I've seen. Super respected in the game. You guys make sure to go check this dude out. Morelia House in the motherfucking building. And guess what? He's a fucking special guest. And here he is.
What are you doing?
Brandon
What's
Wheeler.
going on, dude? What's up, guys?
Dude. What up, bro?
Gentlemen, good to say hello. Oh shit.
Yeah.
This worked out. Look, this
Riley
worked out.
designed that. I know, right?
Bro.
Our t-shirt game is strong today.
Bro,
it is.
This is not a marketing scheme, I swear. I was legit, man. What's up, Brandon? How you living, bro?
Doing well, man. Just, freaking living life, man. Trying to get out when I can, stay home when I can. It's a weird time, and I found the safest thing right now to do is to get out to the desert and go catch rattlesnakes, because you know where there's not COVID? The fucking desert. Goddamn right.
Dude, so legitimate fucking Brandon took me on my legitimate first herping trip ever. Like I'm talking about going to a place further than any 20-30 minutes and fucking looking for shit. And man, it was, dude, we didn't find everything, right? But what an experience that was, Brandon, because nobody was around us. You know what I mean? It was fucking, I don't know, it was epic, man. I want to appreciate you for taking me, and that was epic. But what's the plan for the next herp trip, bro?
We're just gonna go to some different spots next time. I really want to see some specs, so we're gonna find some good spec spots and go see that. I haven't seen any yet. I found Rubers, I found Hellerai. We found some Sidewinders when I was with you. We found Sidewinder, and
Sidewinder.
You want to go, don't you? Really good, Riley wants to go. As far as the local shit's concerned, we need to find a spec now is the next on my list to check off, because I haven't seen one ever in the wild. And then after that, it's Arizona. Beer fun. Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Brian's a fucking man.
There you go. So, and then after that, we'll, I don't know, maybe do an Arizona trip. I'd like to find some clobber.
Damn. I just want to keep seeing shit I've never seen before. That was fun, bro. And we found that Sidewinder within the first 15 minutes.
It's the only snake we saw, dude. After that, the most exciting thing for the next 2.5 hours was a stick bug. No bullshit. I found a stick bug, and I got so excited. I was like 6 inches from rolling over it too. I mean, we were real close. I was like, Arr! MJ's all half passed out, slams my seat in the back with his head because he's all sleeping. Broke his ass up. I'm like, stick bug, motherfucker, stick bug. We gotta go get it.
Everything, bro. We stopped because we saw so many things that looked like a snake too, man. We just kept fucking. And then we went on a little foot hunt, which was cool too, because I'd never been under one of those goddamn big propellers before. Those windmills, wherever the fuck the energy windmills are. What do you call?
Don't blow up you're gonna blow up our spot, dude. Don't blow up our spot. Don't be telling them where we're at, man.
That could be Palm Springs. That could be a lot of places though. So.
That could be the Altamont Pass up north here, for all we're known.
Yeah. We'll never give them the drop pin, bro. Never. They need
Well, Ryan McVeigh, I asked Ryan because Ryan originally took me to this spot with Forrest, actually. Right. And I'm like, hey, dude, where was that at? I couldn't remember. And he sends me this pin. And anyway, so Ryan sends it to me. I'm like, all right, we got to go to the pin. We got to go to the pin. And I finally remembered where it was that we went. Dude, the pin Ryan sent me was like another hour and a half out. I'm like, oh, not tonight, night. Wherever the hell that was, we'll go there next time.
It was literally like this far away from El Centro. It was pretty much in El Centro, like the borderline of El Centro, which fucking is almost 3 hours away, or is 3 hours away. I don't know. But this guy was determined, and to be honest, yeah, I had to drag my ass to go because I was trying to bitch out, but fuck that. Brandon was coming down. I couldn't just leave the dude hanging. He was literally willing to swoop me up. How am I going to say no to that? So, you know what I mean?
You just do it.
Shit. I was just the reason why you were one to mention about having you to be a part of this podcast is because the Morelia is something that, I mean, we talked about your collection, the clutches you got going on, and Morelia is your game, bro. It's fucking, it's very sick what you have going on. It's not, I haven't really talked to too many people that have so much what you have going on all at once. So I also want to know real quick is the differentials of Morelia, right? Because is Chondro a Chondro or Viverdis? What's the difference with all that? I was talking to Riley about that, and I want clarity on all this, man. I want more knowledge on the type of shit you guys know. So, but first off, I want to know what's going on. How's everything with your eggs? And we were talking about shit, your hatchlings and what you have. Let's talk about that for dinner.
I've got good news. I got bad news. I hatched a clutch of, actually, I got a lot of bad news and hopefully some good news. All right. So I hatched my first clutch of the year was 8 jungles, 8 eggs, 8 jungles hatched. So I had 100% hatch rate. That was killer. And then they turned out to be all boys. I don't know what the odds are to get 100% males in an 8-egg clutch, but it can't be good odds. So that was kind of a crush. I mean, whatever. It's cool. I don't care. Like, I'm excited. I'm stoked. I got 100% hatch rate. Like, on one hand, you're like, yes. And then you're popping them, and you're like, dude, yeah, okay, boy. And I was with Scott Borden while I was sexing him, and he keeps jinxing me like, dude, the next one's got to be a girl. There's no way. It's like, this is the one. This is the girl. And I'm like, boy. And finally we got to 8, and I'm like, all right, this is the 8th one. I'm getting ready to sex it. If it's a girl, I'm gonna be pissed, because if you're gonna fuck up, you better fuck up all the way. You know what I mean? Because 7 boys and 1 girl, like, that's a bad kind of sex ratio. But 8 boys, that's a story to tell. And yep, I got a story to tell. So 100% males. Second clutch was also a jungle clutch, repeat pairing that I did last year. So I was really hyped on it, but man, kind of like what you had said, MJ, like, I really think temperature, except mine, I think was too low this year, maybe because my incubator was not running hot. I was more trying to figure out, what I could do on the cooler side, because I felt like that would be safer for the eggs. And I hatched 5, and there were 6 dead in the egg. 1 crawled out of the egg and died. And then I found 5 that were dead in eggs. So that was kind of a bummer. It's always the really pretty ones too, that are the ones that are the dead in the egg. But still, it was awesome. I've got 3 normals and 2 zebras. So I got 2 zebras out of that. I haven't even sexed that clutch yet. I don't even want to know, because if I got 5 more boys, that's just ridiculous.
You're like, we'll visualize it out. Fuck it.
I'll sex. Should we sex them right now?
You want to?
Why not? Okay, let's see what we got.
I guarantee it's fucking good luck. I guarantee. Okay, how many snakes do you have right now?
Yeah, what's the egg? How many babies? Let's call it right now.
5. So it's at this clutch 5. We'll sex 5.
I'm calling 4 females. I swear to God, I'm calling 4 females.
Are we putting on? What do you got?
No, there's no. I'm rooting for you. What the fuck?
This is all just for shits and giggles. He's calling 1.4.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. MJ over here is calling 1.4. Yeah. 1.4.
0.4. Wait, 1.4.
Yeah. Okay. I'm calling 3.2.
All right. Somebody write that down. I'm just gonna do it.
We'll remember it. What's your call, right, Brandon? Brandon, what's your guess? Throwing out there.
He's gonna say fucking
5 females.
I hope so.
I hope for your sake at least a male.
Somebody in the comments says 5.0.
There you go. There you go. Ooh. All right. Let's see what we're doing. Let's figure this out. So
All right.
I got to figure out where the camera is.
This is sick. We're having live popping. If you guys want to learn how to pop, here you go, man. You guys are welcome. Thank you, Brandon Wheeler, for this educational piece.
Dude, I'm gonna get judged for this. Watch. People are gonna get judged.
Who cares?
I clearly don't. All right. So.
All right. We're gonna put you on the screen, just you.
All right. So first up. Ooh, that's a boy. That's a boy. Where are you at here? Where's the damn? Can you see it? No. Yeah. No. Kind of. Boom. Boy.
Yeah, I saw that.
We got one male.
There's the one. The rest are females. The rest are females.
Yeah, MJ, if he gets another male.
I feel bad. I was trying to get him females, bro.
Dude, I know. I had nothing but male heavy clutches all last year. Everything was male heavy. Everything.
Dude, motherfuckers who aren't on this live need to realize that they don't even know how to pop and they can learn right now. So hold on.
All right, I guess I'll kind of explain this. First, I got to get my hands in the right spot. All right, so this is the spot. So first thing to understand is you're going to get pooped on, all right? So that's like the first step is to be pooped or peed on. Second step, don't kink the freaking tail, all right? You want to keep it flush. If people do this the wrong way or too hard, you can kink your snake's tail. It's very obvious when someone's done it wrong. You just want to roll, okay? It's a simple roll. Let's see here. I can't get a good spot. And we got a girl. All right. Let me double check, kind of in the light. Hold on 1 second. Be right back.
Damn. Okay. So wait, what was that? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Female.
Yes. Fuck yeah. Female. I was doing a post on Instagram.
Hold on. I just want to double check and make sure.
I'm calling my shot.
Female. Oh yeah. So we're one and one.
All right. There you go. There's the first sexed female of the season here.
Yeah.
What up? All right. Moving along. Number 3.
All right, here we go.
I literally was just like, no, I don't want to sex him. I'll figure it out later. Whatever.
Nah, no time like the present, bro. Get her done.
All right. So here's the third one. Third normal. This one's cool.
All right, here we go.
What up? Okay. Okay, first you got to get peed on. Check. Hold on, I got to get this under the light.
Damn, I thought it was a boy. Shit.
And maybe I got to get it under the light. Hold on. Ooh.
Female.
Anyway, it's hard to see it. It's hard to show in the camera. I gotta like switch the camera around or something. I don't think I can do that. It's a girl. We got a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl.
Nice.
1.2. I'm not writing this shit on the tubs, but I know I got an order. So it's boy, girl, right? So I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Come on. Let's
Boy, girl.
This is like a
Oh, shit.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Next up.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is my favorite zebra that I hatched, which unfortunately it's in blue right now. But this thing is freaking sweet, dude. It's got like this perfect stripe all the way down. Unbroken, perfect zebra stripe. And you can't see it. It's got a freaking heart on its head, dude. There's a heart. Anyway, after it sheds, that's when I'll post cool pictures. But this thing's perfectly striped with a damn heart on its head. I really want it to be a girl so I can call a lover girl. Oh, man. Hold on. First, you got to get peed on. That's the rule. Okay. I'm going to need a paper towel. 1 second. Stop peeing on me, dude. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Again.
Did you say it yet?
No, I keep getting pooped on. Hold on. Girl.
Oh, it's another
Oh
female.
damn!
Another female. 1 and 3.
Oh, so my guess is out then.
1 and 3, bro. I get fucking one more, and I'm, dude. Everyone's gonna be eating shit.
I wish I could get a better shot on this.
Let's go. One more. This is it. People hate it when MJ's right. Woo!
Oh shit!
No, dude, you voted in my favor, bro. Trust me.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, it's a win if it goes MJ's way, no matter what.
Let's go. It's the podcast. Podcast gives you luck.
All right.
Dude,
So-
here we go.
Oh damn! Hey, that female was kick ass. That stripe.
Yeah, she hasn't shed yet. She's gonna look real cool when she sheds. This one's cool too. This is the other zebra.
If
Let's see who. Okay, hold on. I think Dorian said. What did Dorian say? Okay, someone said 2.3. So if Oliver gets male, he wins this one. And then, dude. So wait, is that? Yeah, Dorian and Oliver said 2.3. Ain't nobody ignoring you. Chill out. I'm just too busy worrying about me winning right now. All you need is female.
Drum roll, please. Hold on. First, I gotta get peed on.
That's fine.
Hey, is that-
Dude, no way. Hold on. You peed on first.
Let's go.
Hold on. I haven't told you yet. Wait. I gotta get peed on. It's a girl.
Let's go. I fucking don't fucking test me ever. Just put it down.
Wow, dude. Well, you called that shit. That was cool.
Nice.
That was cool.
Nice.
Winner. I love winning. And now Brandon won. We're all happy, bro.
Nice. Nice.
That was epic. Bro.
All right. So we're good now. We're back into actually having some pairs to sell. Sweet. Right
There
on.
you go.
I'm gonna keep that, dude. I'm keeping that stripe girl with a heart on her head, though. She's freaking awesome. Now that's a holdback right there.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
you'd be stupid not to keep her.
that is.
Well, these are the younger siblings of Data. Have you guys seen the zebra that I post a lot that looks kind of crazy? Data.
Yep.
These are from the repeat pairing of that one. So I really have high hopes. I think it's going to be cool. Anyway, hell yeah, that was fun.
Congrats, bro. Congrats. That's the way to fucking listen. The reason why I get pumped up is because I talk about losses coming with major wins. What the fuck? That just serves my what I say right there. I mean, and I guarantee Brandon's gonna get a lot more wins because fucking that's just the way it goes, bro. We've all taken losses and then you get wins after them. I mean, either way, look, I'm just stoked. He got fucking 4 females. Getting 4 females in anything is amazing. So go Brandon Wheeler.
And then let's see what else is in the incubator. I had a really bad clutch that I ended up. It was a joint project between myself and Nick Mutton. He sent me some Port Douglas locality carpets, which are freaking awesome. Right. And I'm looking at 2 eggs that are hopefully going to hatch, man. At first, I thought we were going to get 4, maybe 5, and then they just started going downhill. So I got 2. I got 2 that look good. Hopefully we both get one because it's a joint project. But yeah, so that was kind of a rough.
Who you joint with on that project?
Nick Mutton.
Okay. Right. Damn.
And then I got a clutch of Brisbane locality coastals in there too, which I'm excited about. So the Brisbane
Yeah, you better hatch those because everyone else that hit Brisbane eggs this year, they all tanked other than Michael Pinnell. He's the only one who seems to have gotten Brisbane's hatch this year.
Wait, Pinnell hatched Brisbane's this year? I didn't even know that. Yeah, I hear that's that clutch.
I think he
So those
posted
are
it yesterday or today. He either posted it yesterday or today. So
yeah, so then I guess it's me and him.
Yeah, I've heard of a few other people who paired their Brisbanes and got slugged out or just like low fertility rate and it tanked.
Right. Yeah, it's dude, it's just the way it goes, man. I mean, so far they all look good. I don't have a single Brisbane egg that's gone bad. They're doing like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So we'll see. So yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. All carpets this year. I attempted to go ahead and breed scrubs. Didn't work out. No scrub eggs this year. Hopefully next year we'll get it again. But there we go. There's my season.
Good for you, man. Congrats again on the comeback right there. That was
fucking funny.
That was really, really like, honestly, I looked at this shit like a sporting event right now. That was fucking epic. Like I'm pumped up. I'm not even a gambler or anything, even though like something told me, dude, fucking gamble this for right now. I can tell he wants to. But then I was like, it's his own clutch. How am I gonna like? It's like damn if he does, damn if he doesn't. I'm not gonna fucking. Either way, I was like, dude, just let's do it. I thought the live egg cutting was epic. I appreciate that. So good looking out on that, Brandon Wheeler. You mentioned scrubs, man. Let's talk some scrubs. What's your career look like with scrubs? What do you like? How many clutches have you had?
One clutch. I'm a one-hit wonder when it comes to scrub pythons, man. That's all I've got. I've got 2 years I've struck out now, so I have a pair of 2-year-olds that I love that are epic, that are my holdbacks, but haven't had a clutch since. So maybe next year. You know what I mean? I think that's the most popular phrase in freaking herpetoculture when it comes to breeders talking to each other. It's like, next year, guys. I'll get it.
What do you think your whole take is with like them not being so easy to go each year and year? Like let's say about like a ball python or something. Like what's the drawback there?
You know what? I've actually never bred ball pythons, so I can't speak on that. I skipped that one. I was just
jeez, my bad.
Right past it. It's a Morelia show, dude. You gotta expect us to talk a little shit.
Hey, but I got you back.
Look at Riley.
97.8% of my viewers are ball python people, bro. So
I know, that's why it was fun. It's all good fun, man. As long as you're interested in what you got and having fun doing what you got to do, then it's cool, man. You know what I mean? Like my first snake I ever had was a ball python. I got him when I was 11 years old, and that motherfucker did good, man. He was cool. His name was Marley. Man, I remember Marley. That was the start of it, As far as the scrubs, I don't know. It's kind of like chondros, It's just we just got to figure it out. He's got his normal. Is that your first ball python?
That's not a feeder.
No, this is my first ball python female right here. Still got her.
What year is that snake then?
I bought her a couple years old. I have her written down as a 2011, but I think she's older because I got her as an adult. I bred her twice.
2011, huh? And she's she doesn't really look too massive. She looks pretty like she's like around what, 1,500 pounds. I mean, I can't really tell from the screen, to be honest.
I've put her up to about three kilos for a breeding season, but typically she rests around 1,800.
Okay. Maybe I
she's
screen.
Yeah, she's super.
I'd like to get one. I'd like to get one for my son. Because my son, he does pretty good with the carpets. He has one specific that he really likes, Juicy, my female carpet. But I want something that I can just hand to him and just not trip on. And I don't necessarily want to breed. I just want something cool. I think I'm going to get like an albino or something as soon as it makes some sense. I like albinos, man. They're cool. There's a cool looking snake.
I've been breeding her to this banana spider that I have that I hatched out years ago with no like spectacle on his left eye, so he's just got this like eroded blue funky eye. And the only reason I've been breeding him to her is because if they produce anything, I'll just feed him to the Crebos. So if I produce a healthy, normal banana that has 2 eyes, I'll just give him to you, bro.
Yeah, send me. That'll work. I'm cool with that. That's perfect. Fuck yeah. Just something I can, you know, just a pet, something that he can have in his room, set up.
To anybody who's listening that's like a true ball python lover, I'm with you. They're fantastic snakes. I work at work that is 39 years old, who climbs trees, and they're fantastic animals. I've got 3 of them in the place. I love them. They're wonderful animals. However, they're not a focus of mine, and I've got animals that like to eat snakes. So if I'm going to produce some of those, they're a great feeder. Sorry,
Riley, how far out are you on your Crebo pairings? Like, where's that at?
That's coming up, dude. This winter, I'm putting them to it.
Nice.
You know what?
You want to know 6 months? Cool.
You want to know something crazy that I've never really met before? I've never met somebody with such a legendary scrub collection who has what could be another legendary ball python collection. I think this guy loves ball pythons just as much as he loves scrubs. And his name's Stephen Cush.
Yeah! Hey, for real,
dude.
Ball python breeder right here.
He's right there. I just point straight ahead.
I opened up the show and I'm like, man, this is why we have the other show, because I just hear ball python talk, and I heard feeding him to Crebos. I'm like, all right, I can get down with this. So
your haircut.
He's like, if I hear ball python one more fucking time, I'm exiting, dude. I'm out. But
I see leave in the bottom right corner here. No, I'm kidding.
But Steve, you've got a scrub clutch on the ground, don't you?
Fuck yeah, he does.
They're due any day now. Yeah.
Nice. Who'd you pair? Who went?
It was a Barnex. I mean, the female, you'd call her a sarong, and the male, you'd probably call him a maniquari. So not true to the locality specific stuff, but should still be pretty awesome though. Yeah, 11 eggs. So
all right, designer scrubs, designer.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm going with that. Yeah.
Wait, does that mean he could actually really call them designers, or how does that work?
I don't think anyone's done that before, so he can just call whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, I mean, it probably has, and it's just people who didn't know or have locality data. I'm just gonna call them Barnex. Probably
call them the Bubbington line.
Exactly.
Hey, well, yeah, no, Brandon's right. Bottom line is, if it hasn't been done before, he has all right to call it whatever he wants. If we're relating it to how mixed localities and things in chondros are referred to, yeah, I guess that would sort of fall in that same line. But if it's the same species, subspecies, whatever, just in different localities or islands in particular, but they're still classified the same, then it doesn't warrant any special name that would illuminate the fact that it is not like a very specific locality. You know what I mean?
Barnex or Barnex, bro. I mean,
yeah. As far as our current classification of certain things go, you could call it a designer. You could also just call them Barnex and just like say they came from this animal paired to this animal, and start doing like a lineage tree, considering you're at the forefront of like right now, anybody who's producing scrubs is at the forefront of establishing a captive population. So as long as you just represent those animals as like, okay, these are the animals that came from this animal to this animal, it doesn't matter anything beyond that, as long as there's full transparency. And then the hobby can dictate it as it goes down generations from generations, and things change as they will, like common names change, classification change, binomial nomenclature changes, and it just depends on, where you sit and how recently you get that information. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'll be at work and I'll be putting in a note, the network or whatever we use online, about a certain frog, and I'm like, well, is it this genus, or did they change it? Same with like tarantulas, like they just changed some brachypelmas over. I'm like, gosh, I can't even keep up with it half the time.
Steven, let's talk about
Yeah.
that. You're fucking Mr. I mean, you don't judge me as hard, but you know, you throw your little digs at me sometimes, all the time. But what did you do to just? Was it all the reading? Because you know your shit a lot, Steven, like a lot. Like you don't, you know, your words come out really legit. I've never heard you really say something that doesn't make sense. So, like, let's talk about like. I mean, I'm sure, but I'm just like really, I'm really like, I really appreciate the knowledge that you have on these species. But where'd you get it? Like, how did you learn all of it?
I mean, you know, just how anybody else does, you know, just being around it forever and just listening, you know, really just if somebody knows what they're talking about, just listen to them and don't pipe up, because if you don't know what you're talking about, then why should you speak over them, you know? Listen to podcasts and whatnot and just you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm learning.
I don't know.
I'm learning.
The only reason I was like giggling at it is because Steven, you're too freaking humble for your own damn self, bro.
He really is, bro. He will sit down. He will literally like just sit and listen to people, and like you almost have to tell him, "Yo, come on, Steven, let's like say something." But
So,
I mean, you're a lot better on the podcast now. But like especially when Forrest is around, like you know, you just didn't talk much just because he talked over you a lot. But
Steven, you absorb things at a rate that most people don't, and you retain it as well long term. Anybody can sit through the same stuff that you've listened to in your entire life and not retain a fraction of it, and that would be normal, to be honest. You seem to grasp things very well, like the first time, you know, like as soon as it's told, it's like it's in, it's absorbed, it's good. I can regurgitate it if I'm in a conversation, hold my own, and understand what I'm talking about. You do that better than most people. Regardless
I appreciate
of age.
that.
But like it's what he said though. I mean, to be honest, yeah, it's not really his age, it's his experience around all of it. He's just fucking been loked out about it for fucking, I mean, I don't know, how long has it been now, Steven? Your first reptile show was what, 13 or 14?
Well, actually, my first reptile show, funny enough, I think it was like 7 or 8. Yeah. It was actually a it's called Reptile Fest in Chicago. It's like the biggest educational only show in the country, so there's no sales there. It's like, man, it's almost like half the size of Arlington. It's actually pretty big. The Chicago Herp Society runs it. They used to do it at the University of Illinois at Chicago. It was you know, it was awesome. It was like, if you're gonna be passionate about reptiles, you're gonna grab it there, because there's a lot of people with cool animals coming there, and like you walk by their table and they just put it in your hand, like, here, hold it, go. Like at Tinley, that's not gonna be the experience you have, you know, because at Tinley, if you don't have cash in hand, no one's pulling a snake out of a display, and for good reason, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
there's a reason why. Yeah, there's a reason why shows like that exist, and I give a lot of props to people who do that educational stuff. I know for me, you know, I did a little bit of that stuff before, but now like I'm just too worried about, you know, like biosecurity and whatnot, and the water and the collection, you know, to like take my animals around and stuff. And there you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's safety reasons for it, and I'm sure if you guys are familiar with Cusco's videos, he does that San Luis Obispo show where it's all just education, no sales, and I think those are fantastic, because the education that we put towards our community helps more of the bigger picture in the long run, as far as the younger generations coming up, who will eventually be that generation that is the new wave of legislators locally and federally. So we want them to have that open mind.
Yeah, 100%.
Something I wanted to speak on, just because you know, we're talking scrubs, we're talking carpets, a little bit of a Morelia episode. One of the things that I really like about scrubs is we haven't had a chance to fuck them up yet. You know what I mean?
that's a good point.
You know, like everyone.
Can you elaborate, Brandon, real quick? What do you mean by fucking?
I will.
I like that.
When it comes to carpet pythons, we've had a lot of time to fuck it up, and we have fucked it up. I mean, you know, everything's been bred to everything. Nobody's keeping track anymore. You know, it's shut off to where we're not getting any new carpets with the exception of Papuans, which is one of the reasons why Riley, I know, is really into Papuans, because he's actually able to get sourced. And what? Oh, I know. I'll pick some up from you. I had something else up my sleeve that I'm going to grab this year, so I'm going to leave those to you. I've got my other project. Trust me. By the time it's time for us to both have clutches of those, we'll trade. That's the cool thing about all the cool lines that are coming out and the stuff that, you know, if we can get something that's relatively new, as long as I got friends with that stuff, I'm good. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm going to be able to get it later. Riley, can we speak on that on a podcast? Are we cool? I mean,
yeah.
All right, go ahead. It's your project, man. You're up.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one with them. So basically, anybody who has recently gotten carpet python bug, you will understand very quickly that Australia is a no export and import country as far as flora and fauna goes. So when they cut that off in the whatever 50s, 60s, 70s, I don't recall. I think it might be actually the 50s. It's been a long time. Everything that's in Europe and the United States and South Africa and wherever, that's the finite gene pool as far as what's accessible. So you can't get new blood in. So we're sitting here in 2020 and every single line that has become available has found its way into the United States, and everybody more or less can get anything and breed it all together. Now, with the exception of Papuans, because they're from New Guinea, you can still get some limited importation, although COVID has impacted that. In 2011, somebody tried to illegally smuggle a shipment of reptiles into the United States via Miami airport. It was obviously picked up, confiscated, and those animals went to museums or wherever for best intent of keeping those animals healthy and alive. They can't be returned to Australia. Australia will not take animals that have been illegally smuggled out for the most part, just because there's too much risk.
Yeah, for sure.
They've had too much issue with the cane toad problem and other invasives like feral cats over in Australia, devastating their native wildlife. So these animals went to a museum. In that shipment were a couple jungle carpet pythons, and they were kept and housed separately for about 7 years until the museum decided they wanted to go to a more native focus display that particular area. So those animals were then placed into the responsible hands of one of their lead herpetologists. Fully legit, like they're able to sort of place them in a non-participant hands. And they were bred privately in 2018, 2019. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a clutch on the ground this year, if not hatchlings on the ground this year, that very particular folks are involved in. Like, if you've heard about it and you're in the know, you're in the know. Otherwise, you're not going to get this call about these animals. And it's not because they're illegal, but it's because they're such a valuable asset to the jungle community, because they represent the first time new jungle carpet python blood has come into the United States in potentially like 50 years. So they were very strategically placed in the hands of individuals who would very strategically place them in the hands of hobbyists and breeders who would do right by the value, the intrinsic value long-term for the hobby of that fresh blood. So there are, a dozen people maybe that have some of these animals, myself included. And that's a very valuable thing when you have a very finite bloodline already to begin with. Getting new blood in is amazing. So people are really finally catching the bug of appreciation with IJs, Papuans, whatever you want to call them, because you can still import them, but you can't import the rest in the United States. And so these things have unlimited potential until they close the door on that. And with COVID, that is a very, very real possibility these days. So Right now, it's kind of get what you can.
Let me key off that real quick, if you don't mind. So to key off where Riley was going, I want to bring that back into scrubs, because right now we can still import scrub pythons. You know, and that this year could be the year that stops. You know, we are this close to losing the opportunity to import that shit.
Everything. Think of everything.
You know that, Steven?
So,
you know that, huh, Steven? I'm sure you already know that, Steven, right?
Oh, Steven already
You know,
knows.
actually, honestly, this is the first time I've heard that. I have
You
been
just
kind
buy
of
the
out
buy.
of the loop, but you know, with any scrub pythons, for me particularly Halmaheras and Moluccans, it's if you see them and you don't buy them, that might be the last time you ever had the chance. So
You have to think that way.
So with this whole COVID thing, there was a stimulus package that they were trying to pass for the next round of stimulus package. Well, buried in the bill reenacts the Lacey Act, except they added different wording to it to add more loopholes and pretty much allow them to be able to add whatever species that they wanted to. And
I heard about that,
there's language in there that would allow them to stop the importation of snakes into the United States. Now that didn't pass. Now that didn't pass, thankfully.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that another bill is not going to come along with very similar verbiage. Obviously, they're still trying to pass this. So the reality that the scrubs could stop rolling in is very, very, very strong. And 20 years, 30 years from now, scrubs could be in the same position the carpets are today. You know, because lineage is such a big thing with carpet pythons. If you're trying to keep pure stuff, and it's getting to where it's hard to do. You know, I focus on a pure collection. I have some stuff with some unknown bloodlines in it. That's fine. If you want to cross stuff, that's fine. If you're into mix and morphs, that's fine. Whatever you're going to do, that's fine. Just keep track of this shit. And when it comes to scrubs, like I said, we haven't had the opportunity to fuck that up yet because nobody's good at breeding them. And thankfully, there really aren't that many morphs involved with scrubs yet. Yeah, there's a couple. There's patternless. There's exantic. You know, there are a few things. But it hasn't blown up to where everyone's trying to breed anything that says Somalia and has a cloaca together to produce weird shit and funky new things, which is what everything happened in the carpet python world. Because the first thing that really screwed up carpet pythons was jungle diamond crosses. Jesus. That was huge in the 90s, man. Huge in the 90s. You know, that was the big thing, is people had a really hard time breeding diamond pythons, but they thought it was real easy to breed a jungle to one. And then boom, everybody had jungle diamonds. Well, guess what? How many people now have jungle diamonds? Fucking very few, because they either have jungles or they have diamonds, because people took those projects one direction or the other, which means it's a giant fucking clusterfuck of shit. Fuck all. And
love it. I love it.
So if you're gonna buy snakes, know who you're buying from, know what you're buying, know that they know what they have, and keep track of it. And if you're gonna, breed responsibly, and just put some thought into it, is all I'm saying.
Don't drink and drive.
You can drink and podcast though.
So MJ, one of the things that you were asking about earlier was like all of the like confusion within Morelia and some of the challenging waters as far as navigating goes. And what Brandon was just alluding to was that depending on who you talk to, there's people who are purists or people who are totally fine with crosses and people who like both. So you've got three camps, right?
Okay.
Excuse me. So you've got the people who are like, every cross is an abomination, whether it's a subspecies or full species. So if we're talking about bred-like cross with anything, that's an abomination to a purist. If we're talking about anything in the Spilota species complex, so currently the classification for Morelia Spilota includes jungles, coastals, diamonds. Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it also includes Papuans and Darwins, and that's it, right?
Yeah. For now, depending on who you talk to, man. Inlands are their own. Well, Are inlands their own thing yet?
Inlands are their
If
own
not,
thing.
they're-
They've been Metcalf I have been their own thing.
Yeah, Metcalf Bradley, they're their own
feel like I should
thing.
know
You
that.
know, they're separated off. But it depends on who you talk to because there's a lot of people that don't necessarily agree with that. A very prominent member of the community,
Correct.
especially the monitor community, Scott Epper. Scott put out a book, I think it was last year, and he's saying they're all the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, break down the mitochondrial DNA. It's all the same fucking thing. It's all Morelia spilota. That there's not enough distinction to actually call anything its own species or its own subspecies. And really, it's just morphological differences based on location. But there's not enough there to make them different.
What you're getting into is the whole distinction of what is a lumper and what is a splitter. So there's some people who really feel strongly about splitting everything up into specifics, and then there's some people who are like, that sort of distinction isn't necessarily important enough to do it, and they just lump everything together. So a carpet's a carpet. They call them crappets. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Riley's not a lumper at all. All right, Riley's kind of anti.
No, I love it. I love all the detail. I love like fine tuning it. I love finding out like, okay, because this animal has this scale of the ocular scale, but this one doesn't. It's a full species. I love that. I think that's cool because that means like I gotta get more. It means I need like 30 of these.
Yeah, see, and now the chondro guys, you're about to feel the same pain. That's what MJ brought up a moment ago. Because now you guys have the same thing going on. You know, is it Biak and Aru? You got Biak and Aru. Those are different. You got all these different stuff. So welcome to the club, gents.
You have two species. You have two species, and under one species, you have three subspecies. So all of a sudden, you've got a lot of layers on there, and it's only from what most folks say that are involved in the genetic splitting and the DNA classification. They're saying that it's probably going to go further. They just took the low-hanging fruit for that first round of classification to get the ball rolling for the rest.
Yeah.
This is crazy, by the way. I'm just like,
it's fun, dude. It's amazing.
But when you look at Aru and when you look at Biak and you look at the head and you look at the eyes, like those are totally different fucking things, man. I mean, there's no way those are the same.
But they're not that drastically different though. Like they're just like it's a different similarity, but it's still green tree. You can tell it's a fucking green tree.
So I mean, they are still where do you draw the line?
Darwin aren't that different.
No, but
exactly. That's the same argument. So it just depends on where you draw the line.
You let me finish.
Okay, I'm finished.
Well, okay.
Okay, I'm finished. I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy.
I'm not your guy. Dude, okay, Riley, what were we speaking about? That was something that was classified as the same thing, but they're fucking completely different. And we're like, why are they classified as the same thing when they're different? What were we speaking? What was that? That was Chondro, right? That was Chondro and Scrubs.
Yeah. We were talking Chondros and Scrubs before it all picked up because because Scrubs used to be considered Morelia, and the Morelia guys have like undying love for Scrubs because like we all started in that time where like they were all kind of the same, so it's like whatever, you know. Now we're just splitting hairs, so we love them in that way. It's the same exact thing. Like you could really get down to it and be like, okay, well, they're this distinct on this like specific DNA and mitochondrial level, but ultimately what it comes down to is where we draw the line for the classification of species and subspecies and genus differentiation. But if you go further up the family tree, like they're all Boidae, so it's like whatever.
But okay,
breed them all together, you know. Fuck it.
No, okay. So
breed a scrub to a short tail.
Steven, Steven, you've kept some good chondros in your time. Obviously, you've had some good experience with them. What's your take on fucking BX being completely different from an Aru, or what were you saying? Or was it Aru, or were we comparing difference?
Yeah, that one. That's fine.
What do you think? What's your take on that?
I mean, if you look at it from just like a geographic perspective, like I don't personally, I haven't looked into this enough to really make a good call, but I mean, they've been separated for a long time on a large landmass with a giant mountain range in the middle of it. It's just like, look at it with scrub pythons, Somalia amethystina, you got Barnecks, you got the Maruki southern types, like within the species. And it's really cool how a lot of these different reptiles from Papua New Guinea in particular kind of follow the same trend as far as speciation goes. Just like, when do the taxonomists decide they want to split it or put it back together? It's just kind of funny. Even like blue tongue skinks exist in the same way. But like within amethystina, you could have a locality type that averages like 11 or 12 foot, like some of the bigger barnecks, and you have like waminas or biaks that are like 6-7 foot breedable adults. Like, I mean, tell me that's the same species, but hell, it might be. That like fucking eastern rat snakes here. Everything's an eastern rat snake, in the U.S. and kill a bunch of species off. Like, I don't know. So with green trees, yeah, probably they're really different. I'm no geneticist, but
are you sure?
If you have some sort of like 5th generation captive bred designer type, right? Like, what you're telling me this is like a 4 species hybrid now, or 4 subspecies hybrid? Like, didn't even know you made it, but you did. Like, at some point you can drive yourself crazy thinking about this stuff, but
you're right,
cool, though.
Yeah, it does, man. It'll give you a good mind fuck. It will, and that's why I love it. You know what I mean? Got to collect them all. You know what I'm saying?
You good, right?
Keep splitting it so I can buy more shit.
He's hot. It's 90 degrees in here, bro.
I'm gonna open my door. My reptile room's hot as fuck too.
I feel great. I feel bad for all of you guys. I'm sorry. How do you feel, Steven? Are you okay? How's your temperature in your house? You okay?
Chilling, like normal house temperature. So
posted.
Dude, yeah, I'm on Eastern time over here, so you guys are all in your reptile rooms. I'm just chilling on the couch.
Are you baking right now, Brandon? Are you fucking sweating balls over there?
Oh, I thought you meant am I baking? I stopped doing that.
I know that. We talked about that.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot. I'm in SoCal. Reptile room's not cold. It's probably like it's 83 in here. It's not that bad. 83.
All right. Well, normal. You guys could fucking stop complaining and shut the fuck up, okay? So let's just
there you go.
This is awesome. This is great. Now listen, real quick. I don't want to get off the scrub topic because we have the king of scrubs here, and that's Excalibur. I was gonna call you Scrub. I might as well. Steven, I want to talk about the different entries in scrub python, like period. I mean, like, remember the one that we had that were, the guy, the stellar that turned out to be, but that was a hypo, right? That snake was a hypo.
Well, you couldn't really tell until it also depends on like describing hypomelanism, like a lighter phenotype with less melanin. Is that a blackhead?
No, rough scale, man.
What is that? Oh, it's a rough scale. Okay.
Carinata.
Cool. Yeah.
Sick.
On the iPhone, it looked like a blackhead. Awesome.
I like
some of those. You don't have any. Yeah.
Oh, they're cool. Yeah. Underrated, actually, in my opinion. Very cool.
I think they're sick as fuck. I think what's his name? Brett Bender is actually having a clutch. He had a pip. So shout out to Brett Bender. He was in the
nice.
But he just had a pip. He's waiting for the other ones. And I made a sarcastic comment, even though it wasn't. I was like, hey man, slip the other ones. And he's like, all natural, bro. So I was like, all right, I respect that. So shout out to fucking Brett Bender. I hope he has a great success on that clutch, because I know a lot of people are waiting to hear the results on that. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
But anyway, hypomelanism and that. So that one snake, it's a Highland type. What do you want to call all Highlands oxybills, so you can get more money for them? I don't know, but it's a more like high yellow xanthic or hypomelanistic individual. Very, very cool looking snake.
It really is. It's crazy looking.
Yeah. And another thing with like the scrubs, as far as that goes, like you can show to anybody who claims they know scrub pythons. A lot of people do. But you can show the same snake to 5 people and really get 5 different answers on what locality type it is. And probably one of those answers in there is right. But there is proven that there's like genetic drift through the locality types, where you'll get phenotypes in the different locations that you would, see an animal in near sarong, you would call a maniquari, or like Wamina's. What we call Wamina comes from Jayapura. We call Jayapura probably comes more from like Maniquari or somewhere else in the Birdhead Peninsula. And there are scrub pythons from Wamina, and I have no fucking clue what they look like, but not what we call them in the captive trade. So
Well,
at some point,
and
it's like
even
just breed
oh,
that look
sorry.
similar. No,
Even just in clutches, man. I mean, there's so much clutch variation when you start to look at captive bred, because everyone gets used to, oh, this is what they look like, and then you get a clutch, and you're like, fuck. I have a pair, the pair that I held back that I produced. You know, if I post my male up, half the people will say, oh, that's a Highland. Oh, that's a Highland, because it's got I have a male with orange bars that come up the bottom that are typical of a Highland type. Well, my female, who's a full sibling, has absolutely zero of that, fucking none. And neither do the parents, you know what I mean? And neither do really a lot of the siblings. And I was reaching out to Dan Malari about it because it kind of bothered me at first, because a lot of people were like, oh, maybe your patternless male is really actually a Highland that doesn't, you know, I don't know, whatever. They're like, you crossed it, you know, your male is really a Highland animal, and that's why you have bars. I'm like, okay, so because one of the snakes in my entire clutch has orange bars, now all of a sudden the Maruke that I got from Dan that came out of a bag labeled Maruke from the guy where he knows where it's at, he's like, no, man. You know, Dan's actually seen a lot of this stuff out there, in there, been to Indo, been a part of it. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, people that think that Marukes don't have any of these orange bands haven't fucking seen that many Marukes. It happens. And most of the time it fades by the time they get to, you know, a year and a half, 2 years old.
Well,
apparently mine doesn't. Mine still, I mean, I'll post a picture. I'll post an updated picture tonight. It's crazy as fuck.
I don't want to leave you out of this, Brandon, but I love you, but I have a huge connection with Dan, and we all do. That's Kush, Riley, myself. Unless you keep Papuan olives, do you, Brandon? Keep Papuan olives?
No, not yet. Not yet. It's all right. I got friends that do. That's all that matters.
Hey, listen, you have what's that thing in fucking motorcycle clubs when like you don't get the fucking thing on your back yet? Oh, you're like the
patch. You're not patched in yet.
But like he's there, like he's here though. They're like he's doing work. Like, the what?
I got reference.
Yeah, he is. Either way, no, dude, we were gonna get you on that game. Papuans, dude, let's talk about it, man. I'm fucking super stoked. Riley, you literally have one of the nicest ones I fucking seen. I like it's just a really clean quality fucking Papuan. And dude, it's a female, right? Or it's a boy?
It's a male. It's a male.
How's he doing?
Dude, he's the best. He just had his third shed with me. He came in as like a super fresh. Still had like his little umbilical slit. And he had a few like bite marks on him that like I could tell a rodent tried to bite him here, a bird tried to bite him here, and some other sort of mammal tried to bite him here. And those scars are all gone now. 3 sheds. He's eating rat pups. He's doing, dude, he's like 3.5 feet long. He's a champ. He's awesome.
Hey, Justin said prospect. That's what Brandon. He's a prospect. He's
a prospect.
And then we have our fucking the king of the club right here. Is fucking, what do you know? Fucking Cushington has what's your Papuans looking like, man?
2.1, not a lot, but yeah. Well, I mean, you made me like seem like I have like 3.9 or something like that. You know?
That's a lot. I mean, dude, 2.1. I mean, there's not too many people who have any of these. Period. You have to understand.
Yeah, no, I mean they're very unique. It's actually cool. The biggest one we got he's about 8 foot or so today. He's in deep shed, and like I've never seen a snake look so actually like blue. Like it's where like the lime green comes up the side when they're fired up. Right. It's like a cool like grayish blue color. I don't know. I took pictures of it. Like I don't find myself taking pictures of snakes in shed often, but this thing just looked insane today. Yeah, they're such unique species.
There's some of those snakes that are in shed you have to take a picture of. Like it's like they transition to a whole different snake that you almost wish they could duplicate the color of the snake, but you really can't. It's just like a deep blue weird fucking thing. Like I have this short tail black python that's pretty big, and he goes from dark black to like a light blue. Like it's nuts. Like I've taken pictures of it, but I'm sure I've seen a lot of other snakes develop that kind of stuff. So it's funny you say that. Like, I don't really take a lot of pictures of my snakes in shed, but there's some snakes you don't really have a choice but to take in shed, you know. But that's a crucial point, dude. Now, what are the temperaments like on the, you know, because I only have one. Riley has one. Riley, yours seems pretty chill. Yours seems like mine. But I'm sure it's ready to
Super chill.
pound food when the food's around, right?
He's always ready. He's always ready and thinking. But as far as like when it goes to handling and taking him out, dude's a absolute sweetheart.
What about you, Steven? What have you noticed so far with the group of 3 you keep?
I concur. Very strong feeding response outside of the tub. Puppy dog same.
Yeah, man. That's the amazing. Even though it's just so like they have a look where it's like, oh, like you just don't really know because
they're very confident snakes. You know, but if you don't give them a reason to be pissed off, they're not going to be.
Yeah, and they get all up in your face too. Like they don't care. They'll go straight, like almost to your nose, or like pressed in, and you're just like, man, like what's up?
They're scrub like in that way, where like they're not going to be intimidated. Yeah, very
scrub like.
Yes,
very scrub like. They don't look like. Now, what's funny is you still think I mean, I don't know when you said this. You probably said it on your podcast, but on Unfiltered. But out of all the species we talk about, bull and I and all that, scrubs is your thing, huh, Steven? You love scrubs more than anything. Am I right? That's your
a little bit.
Look, but like I said, if you had to choose, God came down and said, "Listen, I'm about to fuck everybody over, Steven, but I'm letting you keep one species." Okay, before I mark everything out, what do you want to keep?
I go to some sort of taxonomist. I'm like, can you do me a huge favor and just lump all the scrubs into one species? And then I'm good.
Oh my God! What about you, Brandon?
Oh,
forever species. If it came down to it,
I would want to keep my Barnecks. Yeah, I'd want to keep my Barnecks. Because, man, Lucy's my girl. Like, I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, I'd keep my Barnecks.
Riley? It's tough to Riley.
You know,
bunch.
Dude, it's really hard because I have, like, my whole zoo collection and my collection. So the zoo collection is things that, like, I can never legally keep here. But, like, I get to play with. It has to be Poplins. It has to be. Dude,
Crebos over Crebos though.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know if I believe you, dude.
No, dude, they are bigger, more badass bulldog versions of Crebos. Trust me. Dude, my dude's already eaten a deceased snake. He's already like, yeah, I'll eat whatever you throw my way. No problem, dude.
You're Poplin deceased snake?
Yes. Yeah, I gave him a dead children's python like 3 months ago. He ate it. No problem.
We did that with a ball python today and a Caiman.
Dude, Caiman will eat their own turds, bro.
You gave it a Caiman or you fed something to a Caiman?
The full term ball python. Threw it with the white Caiman. It's dead in the egg and.
Oh, I thought it was
like, okay, hey, white Caiman, take it, and it's like, oh, fuck yeah. So
you could throw a rock in a Caiman's mouth and they'll eat it.
Yeah, crocs eat rocks in the wild. It's pretty wild,
Dude, they eat freaking vegetables. I've seen videos of them smashing up like oranges and watermelons, and zoos just like keepers were trying enrichment, and a big American croc just like smashes a watermelon and eats it. And I'm like, what are you doing?
What about those videos? I'm sure you've seen it. It's been around, but what about like the fucking how one alligator literally ripped the arm of another one while they're all eating? Like it just laid
like grabbed on, rolled, and just
that was at the Everglades Alligator Farm. That's actually where I got my group of gators that work from.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, when you have
fucking arms gone, you eat it, and fucking now what? Just it'll heal.
Yeah, fuck it.
Nothing.
I still got 3.
Dude, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're just like, I'm good, whatever. It's a flesh wound.
There's 2 reasons why you do nothing. One, they've been around for 84 million years, and what's going to happen is their biology is going to wall that off, callus it up, and it'll be a nub, and they'll never slow down and never know the difference. The second reason is because if you go into that pit with several hundred alligators, you ain't going to have any limbs.
Yeah. That's your last day at work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven, with working with the Caimans that you have and shit, I mean, they're growing, man. I mean, obviously the whole time you've been at RepTech, you know, you like Chico, right? You've been there since Chico was tiny, right? What's another one that's been raising? I mean, how's that freshwater? That fucking thing is nuts.
Yeah, it's solid. It's an adult though. It's about 15 years old. It's not getting any bigger. It's the pygmy form, or supposedly of Johnsoni. So I think it's about 4 feet long, and is
I
not
heard they're
getting any
working
bigger.
on. I heard they're working on subspeciating Johnsoni out into 2.
Would make sense.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
pretty
heard
cool.
that there's more of like a dwarf species or subspecies and like a bigger one. And St. Augustine just hatched out their first freshies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's super.
Yeah.
Cool.
How'd you like to cross that off your list of shit that you've bred?
Dude,
insane.
That's some baller shit right there. Not gonna lie.
Steven, if you ever get Sunda gharials, I'll tell you the secret.
Oh yeah.
Can you please tell me what a gharial is?
It's the one with the really skinny freaking.
So
it's got like the noodle mouth.
Yeah, it's like a 2 foot long.
The freshwater that we're talking
They're
about.
freshwater, and they have a very small, long, slender snout with a lot of teeth that stick out the fish, because a more narrow snout allows them the quicker ability underwater to grab stuff at a moment's notice, whereas a lot of the broad-snouted animals, if you try and move anything big in the water, there's a lot of resistance, right, because of physics.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a very small snout, it's like boop, 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 you're really quick. So they're really good at grabbing fish. The thing is, Sunda gharial can get 14, 15 feet. And so that's a big animal. But up until 2016, they had never been bred outside of their native range, whether it was in the wild or in a captive rearing situation. It had only been done in that subcontinent of India until 2016 in St. Augustine Alligator Farm in Florida. And I happened to be there that year when I was there for croc school, and the clutch of eggs that they got that resulted in the successful hatching of the first Sunda gharial outside of its native range, I saw that egg. I saw it, and they came out, and we were in the nursery, and they're like, "We just got Sunda gharial eggs. We're going to take this opportunity to tell you all of this and that." And I know exactly how they did it.
Whoa. But are you trying to breed at some point, Kush? Is that what you and Des are going to do, or what's going on with that?
I mean, if we could get some, fuck yeah. Like,
where did you get that? Where did that come from?
Oh, we don't know.
You
We
can
don't have gharial. I mean, like,
no, you guys don't right now, but you could get them. I think you could. In my opinion, the reptile hobby, as far as like the private sector outside of zoos goes, has a lot more. We'll say it has a lot more of a foundation set up ahead of time, regardless of how that happened. There's a lot more people years ahead of the game in the private hobby that aren't necessarily associated with zoos. There are folks in zoos who have gotten their start in the private sector and have started to mesh the two together, and they're finally really communicating well and getting things going. And we're off to the races. But I will say that there's some really impressive folks in both areas, but it can happen there. Yeah, I mean, Florida, Indiana, Texas, a lot of different places that allow you the opportunity to keep these animals in the private sector, allows you the opportunity to contribute to that success in that side of the spectrum. And zoos will absolutely collaborate with private keepers, especially when they keep to your standards and do their due diligence and record keeping and this and that. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't see that as an achievable goal, in my opinion. Because I'll tell you right now, zoos, as much of a resource as they are and as much space they have and land and funding, whether it be public, private, or just straight off ticket sales and donations, they have a directive that they're running on. It's like a roadmap that they've been on, and it's subject to change all the time. But something like a gharial that requires a large enclosure is a very significant planning endeavor. And I think folks in the private sector are much more feasible to take on something at a moment's notice, really just throw it together if they're the right person. Whereas a zoo really has to go through a lot of planning, figure out what land they have, whether or not it fits their mission statement, their budget, some of things like that. And that's not to say that's a bad thing, but if you're a Floridian and you've got 5 acres of land and you're like, I got 2 acres to devote to a crock pond, and somebody's like, hey, we've got a bunch of really critically endangered gharials. Can you do this? It's like, all you got to do is excavate a few things, throw some liner down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's much easier in a quick moment's notice, and you can still contribute to the long run of the bigger picture. You just need to work together a little bit more and understand that although we sit on 2 sides of the fence, we're all just enthusiasts in the same way. We just have different access to different resources and different timelines.
Timelines for sure, because it's I mean, you know, your time's different for, you know, I don't know, it's just different. It's all separated, bro. That's why you never want to compare yourself to somebody else, because it's like you're not on their timeline, bro. They're on a whole different timeline than you. So that's why
it's very different.
Yeah, for real. That's why anyone's progress in anything when they're hatching shit, I get excited, because it's just like it's more progress, you know, it's just more shit happening. Especially with these scrubs. Like, man, I've been fucking, I don't know, Steven, how confident were you that you were going to get scrub eggs? I mean, I don't know. You weren't really like
not at all.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, yeah.
But it happened, right? Let's
yeah, it was an accident, really. I mean, at the end of the day, you know,
it always is.
Snakes don't pair
themselves. I like to think I did strategically, but like I don't really, you know.
Snakes don't pair themselves. You got to give yourself some credit, though. Okay.
No, I co-had my bar necks. I gave up trying to fucking figure out the timing on those.
I'm the same way with my Madagascar giant hogs. It's like, screw you guys, I'm throwing you all in one cage. And they're like, hey, thanks, eggs. Like, what?
Dude, it works. It works. You post it on Facebook, people be like, "Oh my god, he co-habs. He doesn't know what to." Man, fuck you guys. It's fine. Separate them out when I feed. Give them a day to chill. Put them back together. Life goes on.
Perfect.
They've been cohabbing for almost 2 years up here, and people are like, "Oh, they're gonna eat each other." I'm like, they haven't eaten each other.
They
eat separately.
At what point, Riley, you separate the male when she's gravid?
I don't. He separates himself. Whoa. He does it himself. He stays far away from them.
That's epic. You're just
they have way more attitude than he does. He'll eat off the tongs. Those 2 females will like chase my ass out the cage. If he's not respecting their rules, they will hiss, they'll full hood, they'll tell him off. He hasn't gone near them in like 3 weeks because they're like, yeah, exactly. You already know.
You don't go next to your wife or your significant other when she's pissed or doesn't want any attention. You're just fucking.
He's in his man cave.
All right. Sorry. My bad. I'll stay in the trap. Anyways, so Steven, real quick, before I let you go, man, I just want to say you are a huge inspiration. I wanted to bring you on just because, you got love for the Morelia family. You really do, dude. Steven fucking hella respects the shit out of you guys on another level. So, and because of that, I love you guys. No, honestly, dude, I'm really glad I actually personally know you guys, because it's one thing to know people, through social media, and not that that's bad. You could, me and Steven only met each other a couple of times. We're really close, but I'm just happy I'm actually happy. Like, I've actually met you guys personally. Not every guest I've actually met, and you guys are people I've actually met, and I could say right now that all good things are happening in this table right here. Like, this is
yeah.
Oh, Steven, yeah, the spot I took MJ to was the same spot you were at.
Oh, he went there. I forgot.
Yeah, when we went herping.
Oh, yeah, the herping. Yeah. I thought I recognized that. Yeah.
Our night was a lot more productive when I was with you. That night was crazy. I swear MJ thinks I'm exaggerating on the amount of shit that we found that night between the couple of different cars, but it was like 30 geckos, like gecko.
Yeah,
he was
there
annoying.
was just so many geckos you can't even count them. Yeah, like the sidewire and yeah.
Nobody documented it. I didn't see shit.
Photos or didn't happen.
Yep.
I could probably find some.
Ruben.
Ruben. Hey, Hey, but Steven, how those inland eggs looking?
9 of them still look solid. So I got about
Inland python eggs?
Inland
inland
carpets,
python.
bro.
No way,
Oop,
dude.
oop,
That's
oop.
cool.
Mhm.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
You. Steven's on the
Which line?
scoreboard.
Steven, which
What's that?
line? Which line?
Mog line.
Nice.
Mhm. Yeah, both of the adults are really silver still. So
I
yeah,
want them
the
both.
female has a
and I
little bit of
want
red
that.
in her, but the male has none at all.
I have a Schofield female over here and then a Mog Schofield male.
Okay, sweet.
You've been sitting on inlands and I didn't know?
Technically, they're Knicks. But yeah,
Ah, you
I've
bastard.
had them for about a year now. Yeah.
You sub of a niche.
They're cool, man.
What do those inland eggs do, Steven?
Like 3 weeks or so.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's like baby season over here. You know, we got
Hey,
balls starting.
Steven. That's
What's
a
up?
week after I get paid. Let me know.
Okay, perfect. You're on that list right there. You already let me know. So
yo, listen, I totally forgot. Biggest topic I wanted to talk about since Steven's on here right now. Riley, what do we have to do to get you over at RepTech? We need you over at RepTech, bro. Come on. The collaboration's there. Imagine.
fly out.
Dude, they need you, bro.
I mean, you don't have to twist my arm. What we gotta do is get a staff over there so that Rachel will be like, okay, I'm down.
Set
I
it
mean,
up.
didn't we come to the conclusion that Indy Zoo's got him?
You're right. Okay.
I don't see a
Okay,
good
you're
reason,
right.
though.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm working on it. Trust me,
Mhm.
it's on there. It's on there. I'm working on it.
How about when you are living in Texas and you guys are all situated in Texas, Steven? Because that's supposed to be a move at some point, right? Am I not supposed to?
This isn't pre-recorded like the other show. I don't know what to do in a moment like this.
If they should happen to
If this theory that MJ came up with somehow happens,
an idea.
and I don't know why it would.
I dreamed it. I just dreamed it. Let's just say if. Let's just say you
he
moved to
had a
California.
premonition.
Let's say you moved
Let's
to
say
California.
for instance, yeah.
Can I get a Jedi? Anyone? I need a Jedi.
No, for instance, if you were to move a place with a bigger city that makes it more possible for whatever the needs are for Riley, dude, could that collab ever happen?
Seems like it's up to Riley, man. You know,
Yeah,
seems
no
like the door's wide open here, and all
you
he's
know,
got to do is walk through it.
To be honest, I do owe y'all a visit at the very least.
Mhm.
Yeah, that definitely.
You've been talking about it since before I was even working here, so I don't know what
Dude,
your excuses at this point, man. Kinley's like 2 hours from here. You could pull the Ronan car, but Ronan wasn't around 2 years ago, man.
You know what I need to do is I just need to take this whole a certain month off and just be like, you know what? I'm gone. Bye. And just go.
It doesn't work in the zoo field, man. I don't think you can just do that.
Find someone to intern under you and be like, okay, I'm leaving. Bye. Like,
dude, we can't even bring interns in right now. We don't even
that's some bullshit.
volunteers in right now.
True.
Are you open to the public yet?
We are, but there has been a massive local resurgence in corona virus cases in the last week.
Yeah. Same with us.
Huge resurgence, and it's to be expected. I mean, it's the whole thing with it's huge.
It's huge.
It's a great resurgence. It's big.
Hugest resurgence it's ever been. There's nobody who's ever had a huger resurgence ever. This is the biggest huge resurgence at a speech ever. I'm as huge as a swollen.
The United States has the most coronavirus. No one can ever have as much coronavirus as the United. We are the best at getting the virus ever.
No, but in all honesty, I really do. I really do want to get out there and go see it. I should have seen it a lot longer. Yeah, California is tough right now. So it is, the out of state thing is something that I used to poo-poo like a long time ago as a 5th generation Cali. Is like a point of pride, you know, to be born and raised in California and then look towards that in the future. But at this point right now, there's no reason why I couldn't like take off, come back, whatever. Like you can't even count that far ahead. So I am absolutely open to like sailing, taking off.
One thing that's nice about here compared to California, don't get wildfires, don't get
Oh,
earthquakes,
nice,
don't have
nice.
ridiculous taxes, and you
Ah,
can
you
basically
speak
keep
my
it where the
language.
fuck you want.
You got terrible
You
food.
can keep venomous and crocodilians. Can't say the same about California.
That outweighs a lot, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, yeah,
considering
food around here isn't that great, you know.
It's pretty
yeah,
annoying.
I can make Mexican food. I live close enough. I've done that. I can do Mexican food all day. Problem is,
And now you're the chef.
I like cooking. I like crocodilians. I like venomous, and I like being my own boss.
There you go. You could be all those things at RepTech.
That's my resume right there. And this missing pinky is so I leave room in case I accidentally lose a finger to a gator.
That's smart.
What does that even mean?
I almost got bit by a Gila today. That would have been fun.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
I heard that's like vomit.
I literally had to do like I checked my hand. I'm like, is there puncture marks? No. Okay, I'm good.
I've heard that's like vomit city. Like feels like your bite wound is on fire and you feel nauseous and puke for a few days and you know puke out your butt.
Off what? Off what kind of bite?
A Gila.
Monster.
Oh shit! So those
Yeah,
are
you'll vomit out of both ends.
What's worse, Gila or beaded? I mean, is it even comparable? I mean, is it the same?
Is there a difference?
I don't know.
Yes, Gila for sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gila's worse, huh?
Yeah, everything that I've read is that a Gila monster will make you like nauseous, vomiting, inflammation, like painful for a few days, whereas a beaded lizard bite, like it's gonna hurt and you're gonna feel like all of wherever you get bit or whatever, but like, you know, after a day or two, it's like a bad it's if I were to put it on like another level, like false water cobra is like a really bad cat bite that gets infected and has like a day of like elevation and irritation and burning, and then the next day you wake up and it looks like crap.
Really? I'm lucky. Luckily the two I've been raising. I mean, they've never like bit me. I mean, they've gone like psycho on me, but they never bit me.
It's rare. It's rare for them to bite. You really have to ask for it. You know what I mean? Because it's always around food. You can always see it coming. They're very predictable. And like with any Heloderma, any of the hydrodynasties, like if you get bit by those, you either had your eyes closed or you just weren't paying attention. Because you know they're rather predictable. You can see it coming, and you know that if anything, they do a lot of bluffing before they ever even open their mouth.
Damn, this fool small town. I don't think he's here anymore. But this fool just got some beaded, and I guess he took a bite from a beaded.
I saw a video of somebody get bit on the face, and like you could see the whole like jawline, and he's like the next day it was fine. It's like scabbed, but like nothing. So
it's obviously case by case, probably.
Yeah.
You know, it depends.
That's line of anything venomous, rear fanged, Heloderma, salivary, whatever. Everybody's biology responds to it differently. So you could take a mangrove bite, you could take a Boiga cyanea bite, you can take a Madagascar giant hognose bite, and it might not affect you, but it might absolutely have like a huge blowout with somebody completely different.
Dude, there was a Western hog bite that went viral like a year ago where this chick's hand looked like a fucking catching mitt. I mean, it was massive, dude.
Got bit right on the finger, right on the middle finger, right in the meat here, and her whole hand looked like it had been sat.
It was
like
huge. She looked like a fucking cartoon.
Probably right spot, bro. The right spot probably got hit. I don't know.
It's all it takes, man. Like the right spot, the right time, the right delivery, and the right person's biology. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Riley, you're on kind of a spider kick now, huh?
Yeah, I love my tarantulas and scorpions. I've handled some stupid venomous invertebrates that I shouldn't have.
No, haven't we all? Yeah.
You like spiders,
Those were the
Steven?
days.
Are you a spider
Cool.
guy, Steven? You know, they bother you?
I appreciate them, but like I don't think I'll keep them.
Smart man.
I think for them, you know, it's cool. No. What
Yeah,
is
I've had some really toxic animals in my hands that are highly advised not to handle, and I will tell you not to handle, but by virtue of whatever was going on, that's just how it worked out.
Dude, I went viral for a really stupid reason when I was 19 for doing some dumb shit with an Androctonus australis. Luckily, no one remembers. I mean, I brought it up. You won't be able to find it though. It's gone. That shit's gone now.
how's it viral? Gone?
Well, because I deleted it. It had a lot of views.
If it's viral, he has it. Fucking, you know, world.
Not anymore, dude. This is YouTube, like circa 2006. You know what I mean? Like right at the beginning of like, no one remembers anymore, dude. It doesn't go that far back.
Okay, tell us. Okay, well, I want to hear what was so bad about it that you couldn't just leave it.
Nope. Nope.
You're not gonna.
He handled something you shouldn't have been.
On camera.
Androctonus are no joke.
Well, yeah, those are pretty gnarly. But Stephen Cush, I appreciate you so much, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful night. Be ready for tomorrow because we have a heavy one tomorrow, my man.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Right.
All right. Well, see you guys, man. Really appreciate it.
Later, Stevie.
All right, man. I'll hit you up, bro. See ya.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Stephen Cush, ladies and gentlemen. Good man. Good man. He's probably fucking needing some sleep right now because the guy just doesn't stop working. So shout out to the homie Stephen Cush.
Yeah.
He has some good things going on. The kid's so young, the potential is just fucking man, who knows, man? Just think about, I always tell him, man, when you're my age, who knows what the fuck where you'll be at. But I know he'll be in the game because he's a lifer, man. It's awesome to see a guy at that age with that caliber who's been doing it for that long. It's pretty impressive. So, anyways, Brandon, just want to say I appreciate you joining in tonight, man. It's been an awesome time. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, we had fun, man. It was cool.
I'm looking forward to the next herping trip. Make sure you let me know. Don't tell me the night of, please. I mean, I'm kind of a scheduled type guy, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I need to
Yeah, that's not how I roll. No, it just happens. Ask Riley. Riley's hung out with me a lot. I'll tell you, it's fucking random.
Well, either way, I'll have to do it, man. I'm not somebody who's always out that much anyway. So what the fuck am I talking about? So just let me know, bro, because like I said, I have a spot over here where I'm at. It's not too far from where I'm at. So it's by the lake, and there's a road that just real similar to where we're on, and nobody's on it at night, and it's pretty epic. You'll be surprised what we'll find out there, man. A lot of cool species of rattlesnakes.
Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to schedule almost like a camping trip and try to collect like 15, 20 herpers, to go out for like a weekend kind of a situation and, and go do the damn thing with a lot of us, you know what I mean? You're down for that, aren't you, Riley? Are you in? Yeah. All right.
I'll fucking meet you guys there and let me know about the fucking. I'll go to the one right here next to us, please.
I'll make a whole road trip out of it. We'll cruise down and we'll swoop whoever's along the way and we'll make it.
Yeah, get Cusco, get Travis. You know what I mean? Pick up those fellas. See if MJ can get Miguel. Maybe I don't know Miguel all that well, but I'd like to hang out with him. Maybe he would be down to roll.
Oh, he's not. Are you kidding me? Yeah, right. This is
too busy.
For how many days? I'm not gonna go either. That's a lot. I'm not that hardcore. You guys are talking about some next level shit. I could barely handle a 2.5 hour fucking herp trip with you, bro. How am I gonna just do a 2-day? I'll lose it.
We'll get somebody with an RV. You know what I mean?
Throw me the wolves, bro. You're throwing me the wolves. There's no shower. There's no fucking. I'm just kidding. I'm good. I'm just fucking.
We'll get you. We'll do it. It'll be fun. We'll sleep on dirt. No tents. No nothing.
I do miss camping. Camping was a good time. I just don't know about the desert shit, man. The desert's just fuck.
It's the best. The best. We'll bring black lights. We'll go look for scorpions. We'll collect tarantulas. Dude, we'll do
We
it.
should do Vegas.
Yes.
You're nuts.
Vegas, Arizona. Go night herping. We'll get some sidewinders.
He's full.
We could go some patch nose.
Like we could go out and we could go maybe like herp on a Friday, like through Saturday morning, take a nap, and then go Vegas Saturday night, and then come back Sunday.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
All right, we'll work it, but we need like 15 heads, or it's not going to be as cool. Anyway, it's been fun.
All right, man. Listen, Brandon Wheeler, ladies and gentlemen, please check him out. Morelia House. He's on Instagram and obviously Brandon Wheeler on Facebook. Really fucking cool dude, man. Reach out to him if you got any questions or anything. And hey, real quick, your availability or whatever. I mean, what's the deal with those? Like, I'm sure people.
What do you mean, shirts? I'm gonna buy more. I got it. Snakes.
You're jungle, fool. You're jungle, fool.
We're not there yet. Hit me up. Send me messages if you're interested. I'm interested in talking to you. But right now I haven't. Nothing's fed enough or at all yet. So we're early on in this cycle. I'm a couple months out from realistically selling things. But if you want to be on a list or just be in the know on what's going on and have dibs, then hit me up. I'm pretty easy to buy snakes from. I make it as simple as possible. So anyway, yeah, that's it, man.
Sick doggy, Brandon Wheeler. All right, man. You have a wonderful night, man. I'll hit you up, and I appreciate you, dog. Have a good night.
Thanks, MJ. Appreciate the invite, man. Riley, take it easy.
All right, peace,
Love you, bro.
Good people, Riley. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, man. It's always good.
Those are the people that we fuck with in the hobby. Those are good people, man.
Yeah, it's funny that the whole like question of going out to Rep Tech and working out there came up because, dude, I remember that. Well, man, I know what Steven has going on, and I remember Forrest asking me to come out there and work for him. Basically, you know what he hired Steven for. I remember that as clear as day. Oh man.
I'm a true believer where things are happening when they're supposed to happen. Like, it's God's will, man. It's when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I truly believe that it was not ready for your time to go out to go work with Forrest, and you're doing what you're doing now, and Steven had to be the one to fucking go at his age and still, like, bro, he's handling it, man. And honestly, to be honest, I don't know how to say this without sounding like, without coming wrong or anything, but like, now that Steven is more in control and in charge, it's getting easier for him, because now it's more just him creating his own structure and stuff. Nothing against Forrest or whatever, but like, Forrest had his way, man. Forrest wanted shit Forrest's way, just like how anybody did. And it wasn't Steven's stuff, and now Steven took care of this stuff every single day like it was his stuff, and he loves it like it's his stuff. And now that fucking Forrest is gone, Desiree loves that Steven's fucking a part of the, still part of the family, but he just can't do it by himself. Like, he just can't. And I'm surprised he's probably mad that I'm even talking about this right now. It's not that he's breaking down or anything, or like things are going bad. Things are going great at RepTech. Things are fine. Yeah. I feel bad for my little homie who just doesn't have a life at 19 or 20 years old. And I just want to give my boy a break. I'm sorry. Steven, I love you. I'm sorry. I love you, Steven.
Man, I wish the world were so that I could just go out there and like adopt a bunch of that responsibility and just like boop move over there and just like that would be it.
I think all I was trying to say, man, I'm sorry if I said too much, but all I'm trying to say is the collaboration with Riley, Cushington, and Desiree RepTech all together working as one force. Like, with the knowledge, like, bro, holy shit, you are more nerdy than fucking Kush. I mean, with all
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
I thought Kush was gonna hop on, and he did when we gave him the floor, he did have some good word. He did get nerdy there for a
Of
minute.
course, absolutely.
I was like, Desiree's like, damn, you're really smiling because it was just like I knew this is what Steven was gonna do, and I love it. But honestly, man, you really touched on some amazing shit, Riley. Like you're kind of like a mini Forrest. Like you just go off on shit, but it's all like factual. You don't have a choice but to listen. You grab people's ear with the knowledge that you drop. Because it's shit that nobody's even known. Like, man, the shit that we talked about, even when having Brandon on, it was like he opened up your topic of information that I didn't even know was even happening, man. Like, and the respect he had of asking you, hey, can we talk about this? And we talked about it and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I always appreciate you, Riley. You know that, but after this episode, after this podcast, it's all elevated now, man, because what a great fucking session of information we gave to everyone who was listening, which I appreciate everybody who tunes in and everyone who listens after this. But it's all about the knowledge, man, right? That's the knowledge is wealth, bro. That's how we continue on. And what did Forrest get off on? Forrest got off on passing down knowledge, bro. Like he was fucking just like you ask him one question and he gives you the most in-depth question, like the most in-depth answer that's most accurate. Like, maybe he did fucking look it up somewhere, but he still memorized it and he spits it like he just fucking read it off a script. Like it's crazy.
He's an inspiration.
He's huge inspiration, man. And like I said, man, you're right there with him to me, man. You're a huge inspiration, bro, to a lot of people in the hobby. You got to think about Brian Cusco, man. Like you when it comes to reptile shows and seeing people, I can't think of anyone else but you and Brian Cusco when it comes to seeing either you or the other, right? Because you guys are always next to each other. You guys ride together. It's just a cool fucking couple to come run up to say what up to. And man, good people know each other, man, in this hobby, and it's cool to know that. And it's a good thing, man. It really is. And I don't know. Future looks bright, bro. What do you think?
Well, man, I don't know what to say. Like that was probably one of the best compliments I've been paid. Yeah, Forrest really in a short time captivated and showed me kind of what it was worth, right? Like the direction, what our effort was worth, right? So from day one, he always inspired me, and everyone he surrounded himself with and everyone he spoke about, you just couldn't deny what he was saying, like it was the truth. He always had this insight and this inspiration, and from the day I met him, it always struck home, and everyone that he surrounded himself with, and you and Steven and Desiree and everybody has never meant anything less than like profound inspiration to me. I don't know what the future holds, but I'll tell you right now, I'd be feeling pretty blessed to be able to work alongside with like Steven, Desiree, Lars, Carry On, Forest Collection. Like that would be paramount to me. That would really mean a lot.
That's such a dreamy thought. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I love my zoo family. I love what I've learned. I love where I'm at. I love Rachel. I love California. You know what I mean? But like, that would really mean something to me, for sure.
Well, day by day, you never know.
We'll get there. The future is bright. The future is expansive. I only just turned 31. Like the world is our oyster. You know what I mean? Like you can't stop us. You can't stop any of this. You can't stop. We're going. We're going. We're getting this rolling. And if you can't play, get out of the way, because this snowball is going downhill and we're gonna roll you over if you ain't ready.
Get the steam rolling, bro. We're fucking rolling over motherfuckers. And it's steamy, so you're disintegrated after you run over you. So bye.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead. Riley, man, what a great episode, dude. I can't thank you enough for hopping on. And your influence obviously was able to bring Brandon Wheeler on. It was able to bring Kush on. And
It's all you, bro. It's all you. Hats
yeah,
off to you, man.
yeah, man. But honestly, man, hats off to you for still fucking with me, but also just being the guy that you are. Like, listen, man, you've taught me a lot of things, Riley, that we've shared in common with that I didn't know. And that's the thing. A lot of you guys out there may see a fucking account or may see somebody, that has something in their life, but there's, they never know what's deeper than that. And I just want to say that me and Riley have connected in ways where I never thought we would connect. And he is definitely a special human to me. And I'm just, yeah, man, like I said, I just can't be more thankful enough that we were homies. And, I had you on this podcast and I can't wait till we get to link again, fucking smoke and fucking do normal shit. That's all I want to do.
Yeah,
is
bro.
Go geek out and see who gets the next pop one. You feel me?
Yeah, bro. We'll get a herping trip in San Diego. We'll get that Papuan chapter growing.
Yeah.
Dude, and you're gonna have to teach me everything you know about breeding chondros one day, because I know nothing about that.
Oh man, the thing is, man, I don't have the numbers yet, I'm not worried about numbers. I want the knowledge. I want to know if I
Forget numbers. Forget numbers.
I want
You've put adults together. You've raised up animals, put adults together. You've gone through the cycle. You've gone through the season. You've gone through the trials and tribulations, setting up cages, getting ready for eggs, getting them going, fostering them, getting females back to, like, I haven't done any of that. I've kept a couple chondros.
Well,
that's it.
Yeah, man. Listen, I have a good circle out there who's fucking literally is giving me the step-by-steps. And at the end of the day, man, you're going to learn the way you fucking learn. You could get advice from everybody that you could get advice, and you could still do things the way you do for whatever the fuck reason. And you do it because you're here to fuck. It just happens some people have, I don't know, man. You just take your licks. You got to take your licks and you got to learn from your mistakes. And I can tell you right now that this year was my mistake, and I'm okay with that, because next year it's fucking on. Next year it's a whole nother go. It's another, it's another fucking, I'm a baseball guy, right? So it's another chance at the plate, bro. It's like, it's like, fuck, I struck out again, but I know what the fuck this pitcher's gonna do to me this time, right? Or something like you just. So guess what, motherfuckers? I'm gonna be fucking hitting home runs like a motherfucker from 2021 to moving forward. So that's why I'm excited. I'm not really too fucking pissed off that I had to put fucking 5 goddamn chondros that were basically full term into the freezer, because the next year, it's not gonna be like that. I'm telling you right now, I'm confident, bro. Everything's dialed in, everything's written down, you
produce more chondros than me, so there you go.
We keep it moving, bro. At the end of the day, you keep pressing forward, bro. Because guess what? Even if you don't press forward, shit's gonna press forward without you. So,
keep pushing.
Oh man, right, Riley, I appreciate you, man. Anything you want to say to anybody? I mean, you have some people. You have some people who really fuck with you, man. I've seen people in the comments. I'm not the only one who loves you. So, anybody out there, or is there anything you want to say? Anybody, the viewers, or anything, bro? What do you got to say before you leave?
Just keep what you like, love what you like, and don't worry about what anybody else says about you or judges you about your animals. If you try something out and it doesn't work for you and you send it off a couple months later, no big deal. Like, it is what it is. Only you know you, and only you know what works for you in your life, and you'll find that niche if you want to. And just, as long as you're having fun, that's what counts, right?
Day by day.
Yes, sir.
All right, Riley, we will be in touch. I talk to you frequently, so I'll talk to you soon. And this was a good time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Talk to you later. Whew. I knew that episode was going to be good, just because with the chemistry, the collaborations of the 3 people I had on, but it went better than I thought. So thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. I love Thursdays. Oh man, I fucking love Thursdays. This was just Like I'm gonna end this podcast and I'm gonna just be so fucking excited. I get like a high off this shit. It's amazing. Everyone who agrees, I appreciate you. Everyone who disagrees, that's fine. But you guys still watched, and I appreciate anyone who still gives me their time of day, and give my guests the time of day, because my guests is that's what's important to me, man. The people I bring on is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because these people influence me. A lot of you guys come to me saying, how the fuck do you have the shit that you have? Not that I have anything crazy, but you guys still come to me and ask me how I have shit. And I'm influenced, man. I'm just influenced, man. You know, I'm around people who just fucking put a fire in me, and I just want to do big things, and I want to fucking accomplish more things. I don't want to get complacent and just settle. I just want to continue to grow, man. And I know there's a lot of you fucking people out there. That's why a lot of you fucking people fuck with this channel. Fuck. But man, good times, okay? Appreciate all you guys. Make sure you guys tune in for Unfiltered Reptiles podcast that we're pre-recording tomorrow and will drop Saturday. So Saturday, next Unfiltered Reptiles podcast with no other than Desiree Stephen Cushington, okay, aka Bubbington, King Scrub, King of the Scrubs, man. And it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be really, really, really amazing as far as the guests we're bringing on board. You don't want to miss it, especially if like chondros, okay? But yeah, everyone have a good night. Tune in next week, and make sure you check me out on Instagram. Make sure you check me out on Unfiltered Reptiles podcast. And yeah, be safe. Love you guys. Like.